Alright, welcome back to the workshop. Today we have got a chainsaw dropped off. Customer dropped it off. I did not take the order. It's an Echo CS 355T. It's a little tree lemon saw, it looks like. I've never worked on one of these before, so we're going to do a little bit of playing around to see what's going on. I don't know exactly what the problem is. The primer bulb is what he says needs to be replaced, and I see it is damaged. And he's even brought the primer bulb with it, so I'm going to put his primer bulb in there. So I'm looking to saw over. I think I'm going to take it out and blow some of the sawdust and stuff out of it. And the primer bulb is here, and I'm just kind of glancing over it. You would think there would be a way to pop all this apart, but this really looks like it's all built as one big piece. I don't know if I can get in here by taking a couple screws off and get that off or not. It's possibly that'll come off of there. I don't know, there's shock mounts and stuff on there. Or there's a possibility we might be able to get into it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and experiment around a little bit and see if I can figure out the easiest way to get to that primer bulb and let y'all see what I end up with. So that's the plan for today. Okay, I'm going to get in here a little closer. I've taken out two screws here, which took off this little piece here that was on the side of the handle. And I've taken out the screw up here in the top, and I've just been able to pull this handle back a little bit. And I took a pair of needle nose pliers, and I don't know if you can see down in here or not. Let's see if I can turn this around. Maybe you can get a little idea. Maybe even throw a little light down in there for you. Anyways, there's the gas lines coming into it. Looks like one of them has been disconnected. I got to figure out where that one's at. And I grabbed a hold of the little tongs on the side of this and reached in there with my screwdriver and just pressed those two, and it comes on out a little ways. So I'm taking this here as that's coming out, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull on that gas line a little bit. You can see it pulls on out a little ways. Like I say, I don't see the second fuel line yet, but you do want to pay attention to which one this is hooked to. So when we go back on with the other new one, we definitely want to make sure that we get the long stop on the long side and the short one on the short side. You cannot goop those two up or it will not work. So let's go ahead and we'll pop this out of the bag. And let's see what they say this number is. He brought it to me, so I'm assuming this is right. It's a 188512-1. And we're going to go ahead and, like I say, I'm going to take that gas line. I'm going to grab a hold of it, and I'm just going to pull it a little bit so that I have a little bit of slack here. Pull that one off. It went on the long one. So we're going to put that right back on this long one. Just like that. And now there's got to be another one in here someplace. So I've got to try to find out where in the world that other gas line went to. So we're going to look for that, see if we can find it, and hook that to the other prong. And at that point, we should be able to just push this on in and we'll be good to go. Okay, as I'm looking this over, I notice it looks like somebody has tried to do something with this, looking for that gas line. But I'm following this particular gas line. I'm going to try, I don't know how well this is going to show up. If you follow that around there, if you look, and I don't know, like I say, if you can see that or not, I'm going to try to get a light in there. But right there, that gas line's underneath the flange of this carburetor. So it looks like somebody's removed this carburetor. When they put it back in, that fuel line is hung up underneath that. So I'm going to have to pull the carburetor off and get that fuel line out of there and see where the other one is. But yeah, I didn't get word that they've already worked on this, but apparently they have. So we're going to take the carburetor off. That's just a couple of screws here. That should pop on out. We'll see where that other missing line is at. Yeah, that's not even tight there. So I think they've done had this apart and just give up on it, which always makes it a lot more challenging coming in, especially when they don't tell you that. If you fooled with something, at least let people know that you've fooled with it so they know where to start. So Let me see if I can get dug back into this thing a little bit to see what's going on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch that. It's kind of dark in there, so let me just kind of play with it a little bit, and I'll pull that out and just get the hose out from under it, and I'll probably find my missing line. Okay, I pulled on that a little bit. We loosened that carburetor up, and I pulled on this a little bit, and it popped right on out. So that's what they did. They had that apart, and then they stuck that in. You see it was compressed right against that, so it was blocking it off. I believe that's supposed to come in, wrap around there behind all this, and then come over and attach back into the back side of this bulb. So we're going to go ahead and get that put back over onto that bulb. I think I can get to that from here. I'm just going to have to get a light on that, a little pair of needle nose. We'll stuff it in there, and then we'll go ahead and put that carburetor back in place. Okay, we've got those back in there. Like I say, it's dark in there. I don't know how well this is picking up on it, but make sure we don't mess up the lines. And this time we're going to go ahead and lay these fuel lines in. This one was out of place also. So we got them. They lay in on the side over here, and then we can kind of hit the throttle a little bit, but I haven't got the cover on there yet, so it's not moving everything quite, but you can see it's moving it freely. It's not hitting anything too serious, so we'll go ahead and put the little cover back on here, put a couple screws in it. I think we'll be about done with that. Let's see how she looks when we get it. Okay, and last but not least, we've got everything back together. We pumped the bulb a couple times, make sure she's filled up with gas. That tells us we got it hooked up correctly. It's there. Let's turn it on, and let's see if she'll fire up. Alrighty, I think that's got us a chainsaw working. I think we'll call that a project well done. That's a tricky little baby to put a primer bulb in. That's one of the more aggravating ones I've had. But we got it, and like I say, if you take and try this stuff and you don't have success when you take it to your repair station, hey, let them know that you've been in there. That way they'll know to look for things, so they don't have to try to discover it as I did on this one. I mean, I found it pretty quickly and all, but it definitely helps if they know you've already been in there and attempted to do something yourself. Saves you a lot of troubleshooting time because they'll know exactly where to look for it. So anyways, hope that helps out if you have one of these little saws. That's all there is to that, other than a little bit of aggravation, but it's good to go. We'll turn it back over to the customer, and we appreciate y'all checking it out. Hope it was helpful, and please hit that subscribe button so you'll see other repairs, both in the small engines and a little bit of woodworking too. So you never know what we'll exactly get into. So appreciate you watching. We'll check you on the next project.